Hello, welcome back to my channel. Antoinette here. So let's do the June monthly wrap-ups, reflections, what I got up to, what decks I used, and just a little inspirational look through the journals to hopefully maybe inspire you if you haven't picked up and started these practices to go. I have been dabbling in digital journaling as well. I use a Samsung. I don't have an iPad, so it's a slightly different process on a Samsung. But I seem to be getting on with it okay. And I have my paper journal still and my daily journal. So let's start with the daily journal. This is the one from the FlickeringCauldron, which many of you know hasn't changed. I have a big love for this. So in the Western astrology, we started in the astrological sign of Gemini, and I believe in true sidereal astrology, Gemini didn't start until the 19th of June, which is when we then kind of look to swap into Leo. I think that's correct. If not, drop into comments and add to the conversation. So here we go. There's my monthly practice. Something went wrong down here. In fact, where I felt the energy was getting really good and we had a great month, back here around like the 26th of the month, something went very wonky around me. That's all I can say. It just, something wasn't right, and I'm not the only one. Other people noticed it, and it was just very, very bizarre. Somebody in my workplace was like, I don't know why, I just want to cry all the time. And it was just like, oh, okay. And she's like, yeah, the pressure, the stress. And when we walk in and out of certain shared office spaces, the same thing. People go in and come out and say, I'm glad I'm not working in there today. But even though there was no conversations going on amongst people in the offices, they were very quiet, getting on with it, you could just feel this immense pressure. It was so weird, so weird. Anyway, I digress. So in the diary for this year, we have talked about juniper for people born between the 22nd of May and the 21st of June, which is hilarious as a Gemini plant because I'm allergic to juniper, full stop. So but of course, juniper, I believe, is the name of our fairy. So hopefully I'm not allergic to that. The element, there you go. So you've got your elements, your air, your quality being mutable, your ruling planet is Mercury, the detriment is Jupiter, exhalation Ceres, and fall is Chiron. Then we have gemstones. So pearl, which of course is for the month of June. The modern again is pearl, traditional alexandrite. Alexandrite for Gemini because it's a colour changing stone. For those who don't know it, it's a very hard gemstone to get hold of actually, especially the colour changing ones from Siberia, which is where it's mined from, is my understanding. And under incandescent light, and when I say incandescent light, I believe that is referring to a candlelight. So in the dark under incandescent light, the green gemstone turns to ruby red. That's why it's known as a Gemini stone, because it has the two sides to it. And here it's talking about the planetary stones. So that must be for Mercury being tiger's eye, protection and grounding properties. We have the birth flower of the rose. I do like a rose. I'm not going to, beat about the bush. I do like a rose. In fact, I'm wearing rose, LMS rose hand cream, body cream, and I used the shower gel, and I'm absolutely devastated. I tried to purchase some and it's been very hard to get hold of, and I hope they haven't discontinued the range because I couldn't get the spray. I love the spritz. I don't like the face creams, but the body stuff, just my favourite. Anyway, so we had the fairy tea recipe. I made this. It was pleasant, but I think, so I had fresh lemon balm from the garden, which I just chopped up into ribbons and threw into my teapot. I had plenty of rose petals. The lavender flowers and the chamomile flowers were a joint, what I had left over. So I didn't quite have the right mix of those. And I think that's why it came off with a bit of a weird taste to it. And then obviously dried mint leaves, which I have loads of those in the cupboard as well. Popped it into my little teapot with mushrooms on, let it infuse, and then poured it. So it was nice, but I think because I got the lavender and chamomile mix slightly off, it was a bit strange. And of course, with the dried elements versus the fresh element, I think that also changed up some of the flavour. Next time I make it, I'll probably leave out the lemon balm because I haven't got dried lemon balm, so the fresh lemon balm I'll probably leave aside and try it without that first. But yeah, so I made the fairy brew. And then it tells you the benefits of each herb that's gone into your fairy tea. And you see there, make the tea. And we have the new moon for Gemini. And just a reminder to myself about indifference being key to who we are. We went through the solstice. I didn't really get to mark that again. The energies were just not there. It's The blackberry lemonade. I didn't make this, but I definitely have there's a mental note to come back and do this. We don't have any blackberries for the most part, so I have no fresh blackberries in the garden. I won't have those for a while to come. Now, I normally have some frozen in the freezer from the year before, and I use those as ice cubes in my drinks. And I don't have any this year because the bushes got cut back at the wrong time last year, so I didn't get any blackberries. Devastating. But there's worse things in the world. But I definitely have a plan to try this when I got some fresh blackberries in the garden. I've got some raspberries now, but I don't know if that's the same. It might be a bit tart. We have the honeymoon was also in June. And then here we go, look, grumpy. Haven't put anything here. And then I think that leads into July. So I have my pre-orders list of items that I'm waiting to come in. Decks as they were coming in, ticking off the ones that had arrived, spending, and my wish list. And we move into July next. This one. So the inside cover, which you haven't seen for a while, is just slowly building. What was that for? Yes. So this is the dates for the True Sidereal Astrology, which does say there, actually, doesn't it? For when those star signs start, just for my own interest. So that's on a clear postie I've stuck there. And I have the deck interview spread. Oneness Emporium sticker, because I've had a few things. I had some teas, actually. They had teas on sale because they're going to stop their tea shop, I think, which was devastated here. So I just ordered up 4 bags of tea and some socks to make sure I don't miss out on the tea. And we have just those stickers there. I don't think anything else is new in here for you. Gemini, there we go. Lament. So June, my word for June is love. And you can see that we have, so I've listed the cards that I did from my calendar spread. If you want to see how that was done, there's a video. And we have the Page of Fire, adventurous, acting on new ideas and passions. And what I've done for this is the words you see that I've put rings around is after I'd written this, that's how I selected that keyword. So I've transferred that into my journal so you can see the process. So we have love with wildness. Wild roses equaling protection. Love is all around you. Then I've put 54, the lighthouse, beacon of light, illumination, sparks, romance, love again came up for me when I was writing about the lighthouse. So hence we got the word love. And didn't fill in all my decks here, but you can see for the most part I pulled out the Zaney Tarot, the Trionfi della Luna Rose, my mashup deck, and the Tree Oracle was out. So there we go. Week ahead, the Enchantress candle from Apollo Ipsen, Honey Velvet. I haven't burnt that one. That's the one I've got burning at the moment, actually. That's not the one I burnt there, though, but that's the one that's now going. I've burnt one that I ordered. But I think I talked about those in my last video. So my week ahead, we have situation / energy for the week ahead, the likely outcome for this week from this card, and how can I work positively within this likely outcome and the situational energy. So that's how I chose to do the first week into June. And we have my Oracle Speaks, which was the Tree Oracle, and my reflections on the week again, just 4 cards because in the Triomphe della Luna mashup, I've got 10 oracle cards, so the trumpet came out along with 1, 2, 3 other cards. Okay. And then I've just kind of bullet pointed as I was going through there. So with a page of coins as my reflections of the week, learning new skills, e.g. reception cover. Oh my gosh, yes. I got dropped into cover reception. Now, I believe being a receptionist is a skill. It's an absolute skill, and it involves a lot of IT skills that I don't own. So being handed what they call the work Bible and asked to, you know, get on with it and use the SOP and just work through. Oh, I just wanted to bang my head on the desk. I was asked to sort the inbox out, for instance, and we have, you know, all of the teams, like 20 people's emails coming into this inbox, but no SOP, standard operating procedure, nothing telling me how I designate these emails. So I started color coding them, because we have a color coding system, to who I think they belong to. But then I'm apparently supposed to take them out of the inbox and send them to these people. And you may want to resonate with these types of things, but I had no idea who they belong to. So I don't know who deals with certain things, which does sound a bit nuts. And this is where I realised how we don't actually understand what people do in the team, always. And so I was criticised for not emailing them out and just leaving them in the inbox. But I was like, well, I don't know who they belong to. So if I send it to you, I take it out of the inbox and send it to you, and it's not for you, then what happens? That email is lost, isn't it? And then it's my fault because I've lost email. Anyway, going round and round in circles. So that was a thing and a half. Beauty and a half for me. Then we have the Knight of Swords, so trying to forge forwards and be useful in said skills. Then we have the Voices, stressful situations to do with needs to vent or de-stress. I was kind of those two together. All you need is love. That song, Love is All Around You. No, Love is All You Need, sorry. Yeah. Then we have Next Week Ahead. It's a pretty basic page, this one, isn't it? So this, and this already on the page. All I've done is the lined page. Use my Tomo or whatever brush pen to create lines, and then just kept it simple with black. And this is the only sticker I've added and then drawn onto the page. So that's all I've done to make this page look chaotic, I suppose. So we have the situational energy again. And then I've gone back to what's feeding into this situational energy. How is this likely to affect the team? So again, kind of broadening the question out to what I'm looking at around me. And then where should I keep my focus while all this is affecting the team? Where do I need to keep my focus? How do I need to keep my head kind of cool, I suppose, and not hot-headed? And then here we have love. Without the ability to act from the heart, there is only confrontation and mistrust. And my oracle speaks. We have the larch tree. I'll just put there, go ahead, take a look back instead of the word reflection between the flowers. That's my reflections heading. And again, 4 cards, and then just a kind of general write-up for what we were thinking. The following week, we have the situational energy, where to focus, what to ignore. The wise oracle says, and then my reflections. And again, so sticking with this kind of throwing out a bunch of cards until I feel like stopping, and then just a roundup of what these cards meant. And here we have what is love anyway? Can anybody answer this question? So that's a song lyric for those of you who recognise it. This week we have, so again, these are already on the page. This is already on the page. I've added these stickers. The rest is text from me. And so we have the situation, so double up text, you know, where you write in plain caps in one and then across it in kind of like a long joined up scroll in the next. So situation, focus, and ignore. What do I need to seriously ignore? I'm going to taken away, like release, let go. We've gone with just ignore, just plain out, right, ignore that. You don't need it in your life. And then love and other stuff is what I've put here. And my reflections, 3 cards, and then just kind of like bolt down on that. And we wrap up here. This is actually the candle that I burnt. It was the Starry Night candle. I can't remember what scent I had in that one, because you pick your scents to go in the candles and then you pick the sticker. No, So jar candles that come with set names and stickers, and you pick the scent you want to go with the name of the jar. That's what happened. So I think it was I want to say Graveyard Flowers. I think that burnt first with Starry Night. I think that's right, Graveyard Flowers. Anyway. So we've got my new candles, my tea and socks from Wellness Emporium. On call, had my mum's birthday, had a fabulous luncheon out with my friend, and my nan's end of life medication was stopped and she was put back onto her medication. I don't quite understand how this process works, but you know, I'm not a medic, so there we are. So that's that one. So that's my A5. So you can see what's happening is I am reducing what's going into these. So whereas normally you'd find a full moon spread or something like, I'd usually have a full moon, a new moon, any other spreads, midweek spreads, like here we've got like Tarot for Ritual alongside the week aheads. I have very definitely cut back to weeklies. So this has just become, I suppose, a weekly and a reflections kind of memory keeper for me now. So that's sort of where my journaling has evolved. And we're into the vintage journal from Amethyst Ascensions Kofi shop that I've purchased. So this was her expanded, updated vintage journal. Comes with downloads, which aren't good notes stickers, thank goodness, because I can't use those. So this one came with like JPEGs that I can use. So that was perfect. I have customized the front of the journal now. So I've put stickers on here. So this is all stickers because this was a plain, it was just a silver colour with some borders. So I've now managed to get to that point. And we were on June. So we are here. So you can see I'm using the stickers that I purchased from Etsy for that 20 quid for the year to use all their stickers. So I can pop in and out of their Dropbox and just download what I want and stick them in my journals, which is fantastic. I love it. Which is much cheaper for me than buying, you know, a set every month for 3-4 quid and then downloading them and discovering that they probably don't work. So these ones I knew worked, so I was like, yep, we can do that. So what you can see is, so some of the books that I had on audio was The House at the Edge of Magic, The Bookshop at the Back of Beyond, and The Tower at the Edge of Time. So obviously that's a threesome. They're just a fun set of listens. The My Vampire System Pocket FM app. That's actually quite good, although I find it annoying that I can't listen to more than 8 episodes a day. So every 24 hours it renews and you get 8 more unlocked. That's my only criticism, but you get story with sound and occasional images on the screen. So it is actually quite nice. And then I finished reading the Elegance hardback book. This one. So I've read it, finished it. So I quite recommend it actually. It was funny. It was funny to read how somebody tried to base their life on the other one that I've talked about in previous videos, and then realised how outdated that one was. But this is around a fictional character anyway, who's trying to follow some outdated rules about how to be and how to behave and how to dress, and soon just kind of runs into trouble with all of that, and then has to find her own life and her own style and her own way of being, unique and interesting to other people. So this is, yeah, I do recommend this one. If you see it around, pick it up. Now then, who was I watching? So obviously More Than This. It's always More Than This, as you all know. But there's the list of people, so you can screenshot that one and go look them up. I always recommend doing that. I can't remember if anything in particular jumped out to me. 78 Puertas, I've done a couple of hashtags that they've had out. Yeah, I can't think of anything major. because my brain is full. The decks that I've used in here are these ones, so we'll see those as we go through. Right, there we go. So first spread, new moon in Gemini. This is from this deck available on Make Playing Cards. So it's one of the moon spreads. So she does new moon, full moon. So I've taken a picture, popped it in there, and that is how that has arrived in here. And then what I've done is the card I used to lay out the spread, I've stuck over. So where you see the prompts, I've put my cards over the numbers, and then you see then I've had to put my numbers on the layout too. This is a sticker, and then I've wrote text over my sticker. So just some quick words to go with the cards that are on the other side of the page. So here we had, so I had a dream. There's a song about that. And I've used the Mind's Eye Tarot to look into my dream. And again, this is another one from this deck. So you'll start to see that that is something I find really, really interesting to do. I'm just looking. I don't know how my text managed to look like that. I must have distorted it somehow but what I do is I crop down here off the card, and then I obviously enlarge that bit, crop that down and stick it there. I'm continuing to put my cards over, overlaying some stickies and my text there for, you know, how I felt that particular spread has gone. I did this VR, didn't I? Let's Be Tarot Friends, so you can look that one up. That was a great tag to do, answering some questions. I just put some decks down to flip through so you had some visuals while I was talking, because, you know, that's what we're here for, isn't it? The cards. Then this one was, of course, from the Healing Chakras series that Amethyst Ascension is doing, or did, and that I'm, you know, slowly keeping on top of. I did do the video to go with this one, so I did the Shadowlands Tarot and just popped them out there. I've got to put my answers down side. Just interesting pages, really, overlaying on top of stickers. This one is, as you can see, so this is my throat energy chakra. Haven't done the video to go with this one. I kind of got a bit behind. I do need to maybe do the video, but it's there. It's already in my journal. So you got a sneak peek. Who was this one? Oh, yes. So this was with Elemental Cartomancy, his Sip and Sling. So he did a spread, which we joined in. So I used the Mystic Sketch Tarot for this one. And I've written down just a quick thing there for my text. And then we're into July. So that is my digital journal. For that one, that's just that digital journal, isn't it? My old digital journal that I had from Amethyst Ascension, I've now turned into a spreads collection. So I've got headings here, and I've started, they've all got pages, so the picture matches the picture, so I know what picture I'm looking for. And then ones that I've collected, I'm just starting to put into my journal. So just screenshots and things of various spreads that I've come across, I'm putting into there. So that's what I'm doing with that journal. And my Deacon journal is here. So we had the last Deacon of Gemini, where I used Star Tarot, coming through into Cancer 1. I've used the Tarot of Echoes. And Cancer 2, I'm still to do. So that's where I'm at this point in time. Am I behind? I must be really behind. Why haven't I done Cancer 2? Don't know. Oh, because we're only in Cancer now. I said Leo earlier on in my video, didn't I? Oh well, never mind. There you are. So that's where we're at with that. Mashup deck, Trionfi della Luna. Where are we? How do I get into it? So I have edged it finally. And when I say mash up, this is the one where I've combined. So I've got the Majors and Courts. I have the 10 Oracle cards in here. So I do occasionally refer back to the guidebooks. So I know what they're called because I don't know what they're called. And I'm probably not going to write that onto them. And then I have the original Marseille version in here, combined with the... I'm going to find you one now. Combined with the illustrated pips. So I basically put the two decks together, worked out what I wanted. Where are they? Where are they? Where are my cards? There we go. 9 of Swords. So I combined the illustrated rose with the pip Marseille version to create a deck of 78 cards, or 88 cards, because I've got the other ones in there, as I said. So for the first part, this deck became my weekly deck. So my standard, 3 to 4 card questions that I've showed you. And then I was using the Tree Magic Oracle for the most part for my Oracle. Sometimes I threw in some others, but this was the... Oh, wrong way, that way. So this was for the most part what was going on. So just so you got a kind of visual impaction. This one, of course, so we have the tree. So we're looking at the mahogany tree here. Card, it has a number. A keyword there is confidence. And then you have a little kind of quote to, inspire you. So a test of fortitude brings a heart fortified within itself. Light shed and darkness uncovers intrigue and mystery. And we could just have a look in the book to go with that one, actually, 42, because there's extra in the book. So, nice little book that tells us that a little bit more about the mahogany. So it tells us, it's a dark reddish wood from mahogany. It represents disoriented phase and the unconscious realm. Well, if ever there was a card relevant to my current predicaments right now, there is very disorientated phase. So we have that there. Let's just see what they look like. I think at one point in the month, I started pulling it for a couple of days in a row as my daily card as well. And I would occasionally throw this in as a daily card draw with my daily pulls. So that's just for instance, 6 of Pentacles with our King of Cups, the Magician, and the Oak Tree giving us strength, because strength grows through time, brings the reward of honesty, living up to your greatest expectations. I love that little owl in the oak tree. Not just strength, but giving protection, isn't it? So the Devil with the 6 of Wands and the 7 of Wands. And the Hazel Tree with good luck. Good luck with that, Devil. It's on your tail. So 4 of Swords with Ace of Pentacles, 3 of Pentacles, and the Tulip Tree for adaptability. So these were my, as I say, for the most part, that was my week aheads. And then sometimes used in a daily, because I do love this deck. And I'm really enjoying it even more now that I've mashed it up. Okay, so we have those. So I'll just show you a few more from this deck, because I don't show this one very often at all. So you have your Dams and Rewards. The Pine Tree, Eternal Love. I believe this deck has been reproduced, remarketed, and you can buy it again now. So I guess the cardstock is different to the one that I have. This is the original one, I believe. So Mimosa Tree. So yeah. So that was by Julian Kemp. So also with all of this, in my weeklies sometimes, if I was really unsure, I'd use the What's the Tea doesn't have any dimples on it, so I can't get into the box. I have to wait for gravity to take over. So what's the tea? Life is like tea, you must calm down to face it. So just to find out what's going on with, if I couldn't kind of like quite work out what on earth is going on, I just pulled one of these to see if there's an underlying issue. And for the most part, I'll take the top issue on these. A couple of times I had some kind of warning messages which were slightly more alarming than others, you know, just about people being nasty and like using fake accounts. I think that was it, wasn't it? So fake accounts, so somebody was stalking me via probably social media, and then there was a couple of other cards that came out with that was also slightly alarming in those aspects. But it certainly gave me an idea of where to watch my back. So it did work. So there we go. What's the tea? So I did use that one occasionally. Although the name on the box makes me think it might be a nice little morning tea deck. Not at all, don't be fooled. My daily cards, for the most part, was the Zaney Tarot. And yes, this is the Libra Moon pouch, which I just love transferring my decks into and using as the month progresses. And it's starting to get a little bit softer now, because, you know, these things get better with touch, don't they? I have ordered another one. I personally happen to like this product and this, what it's made of. So for me, this suits me. We have this one, so the Zaney Tarot from Make Playing Cards. So this is my daily. So yeah, this was easy, just simple. Just pull a card for the day. The cards are nice and easy to read, colourful. So in theory, I was thinking with the nice bright colours, it's going to set my mood up for the, you know, for the day. But even Zaney didn't get to break through the weirdness of the world and the planetary atmosphere and the atmospherics completely. But it was still, this was still a very pleasant pull to pop on the desk and see what was going on. But as I say, so I put this one down. Occasionally I'd have the Tree Oracle next to it. Sometimes I'd have What's the Tea next to it. I think I put the Ravens Oracle next to it as well on a couple of days. And I also used the other one. This one. So these are the same creator. This is 2 decks from same creator. This is 1 deck from same creator. So yeah, definitely starting to mess my decks up and mash them up and mix them up to create what I want. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a great set of keywords, ultimately, is what I'm looking for. Is my realization in Oracle. I want a good set of keywords that trigger, give that kind of snappy inspiration into expanding on the keyword. So I don't just need it to be transformation, but I need to be able to expand on it fast. So ideally the picture should give me a multitude of inspiration to expand on the keyword. Although I do love just beautiful art and moody art. But does that make sense? That's kind of what I'm looking for. And then I don't want multitudes of decks. I just want then the ones that I've got. So whether that deck ever actually exists and comes into fruition, or whether it's something I have to create for myself, I don't know. But I'm starting to think now I need to just start collecting all of these keywords that I like, the ones and the reason why they make it into the decks, pulling them together and then finding my own kind of map to the keywords and then pictures to collage together to feed off of that initial keyword. That's what I think is going to have to happen. But that will be a personal thing, and I don't even know if I'm even going to do this. Like, I'm saying it out loud, I don't know if I'll ever get there, because somebody possibly wants to, if I'd, consider designing a tarot deck. No, I can't. I'm sorry. The thought of doing that makes me want to cry. I couldn't, no. 78 cards. I'd make it to 10 before I threw the thing in the bin. Yep, so there we go. So that's the Wisdom of the Raven by the Shadow Art Finds, and this is by Shadow Art Finds. This is the other two shadowy oracle decks from them. On here, I want to say Shadow Escapes and something else. I can't remember. So yeah, so Zaney. I just haven't swapped out my current deck into this one yet. Probably because it was only yesterday that I worked out what deck I wanted to use. It's not bad going, is it? Almost a month out. I am totally waffling, aren't I? I'm so sorry, guys. Right. Into my digital journal. So my digital journal with the kind of set spreads and things I had in there for the moons. So I used the Alleyman because I like this deck a lot. So this, of course, is the original Alleyman Tarot. Eight of Pentacles. I'm sorry, that still keeps. It's hilarious, absolutely hilarious. Some of the cards I've coloured in, but yeah, I just like this one. I like all my decks. Like now, my collection's got to such a point where I don't pull them out often enough. But I don't want to use a different deck every day. I like to work with a deck for a prolonged period and then have other decks I use for a very set spread just because I pulled it out for that, and then I don't feel so guilty about not pulling them out. But by pulling them out, it makes me feel like they've had some impact in the month. So it's not just been the one standard deck. I've used a few decks for specific things, but at least 2 or 3 of the decks have had like energy and intention and attention put into them. Does that make sense? So a couple of them feel like I've had quality of time with them, and others feel like I've done what I needed to do with them for that particular month without any lingering kind of guilt issues for me. So yeah, so there's my Alleyman Tarot. That would be a great full card, but this is just like a header card that I use on my Alleyman deck. And it has, this one has its own pouch. Which is actually one that came from the Witch Casket. One of my boxes from the Witch Casket. Probably had a potion bottle in it. It was definitely the potions or the water casket. The Mystic Sketch Tarot. Started edging this, but again, I find these things a bit soul destroying because they take so long with my brain. So I started edging in a pale grey is what I've decided to do. And this one is, again, so it's the limited edition deck from Mystic Sketch, James Bradshaw on Etsy. You just type in Mystic Sketch Tarot and basically you always get the link. Now, I didn't realise, and he very kindly reached out to me and told me that this card, he had the wrong heading title on it. I think he had the knight down as the page. I just genuinely didn't, because I was just reading the pictures, so I didn't even pay attention to what he'd written down here. I read the picture and I was happy with it. I was fine. So he informed me, and I was like, oh, okay. And then he sent, he's had reprints of that one incorrect card, and he sent them out. So it's arrived. It's now in the deck. I've taken the other one out, and it's in my collection there with the other extra cards that came with the deck. So the ones that I want are in the deck, and the ones I don't need are in there. So I used this one, and now that I have the correct spread, I'm not going to mix up all my cards. Let me just take off my greys. Take out my edged section. So yeah, Another great deck that I used to do a spread with. So this is my Hierophant in this deck. I have that House of God, the Tower, and with that Devil, because I think there was 5 cards that you were given to choose from. I think there might be another type of deck coming from him, or he might do a second version of this, but keep your eyes out. But if you like hand-drawn decks, and this is, you know, amazing art, but if you do like a hand-drawn deck with a little bit of a quirk to it, made in the UK, even produced in the UK, I didn't know that he has them printed in the UK as well. This one is definitely worth having a check out for an indie deck, hand-drawn by a UK creator. So I do recommend this one a lot. It doesn't come with a guidebook. You don't need a guidebook. It's, you know, if you read numerologically, you'll be able to read this without any problems. But they are great, aren't they? They're very artistic, very talented James Bradshaw. I also used Shadowlands Tarot by Monica Podersky. So I used this for one of my spreads, again in my digital journal. One of the chakra spreads, wasn't it? Was it the heart chakra? This combined with the book actually worked really well for that. So you could easily use the book to help you do this from a shadow journey aspect for yourself, which is something I haven't paid a lot of attention to other people who use this deck as to whether that's how they use it, but it's definitely something that I became aware of. And yeah, it worked really well. It highlighted the issues and in a nice way. And because the way that Monica writes her guidebooks, it has like kind of prompts for journaling as well, prompting you into the issues to look into them in a slightly different manner. I thought that was a really nice way to use the resources that come with it. Whereas normally I might put it away and not use the book always. But in this instance, it was, yeah. And I think our artwork's really quite humorous. And it's just another mass market deck that's easy to catch, and it's gilt edges. So that one. I think that's the pile of decks that I used actually. I did do a couple of VRs that I said. Obviously one of them I'm not going to show you the decks because it was 20 something questions to the top decks, 21 questions. I think I'll probably put out 21 decks, so you'll have to go look up the video for that one. 78 puertas. Kim, Abundant Life Tarot. So this came a while ago when I did my Make Playing card purchases. This is a 160 card deck. So this is her Secrets Revealed True Crime Oracle that she's been using for a while and made available back in January, I think, on her Make Playing Cards link. And I noticed that when she used it, sometimes she split the deck up, and I wanted to know how she splits the deck up. So I did ask, and she's done a video. So there's a video out there on how she splits the deck up. So I watched her video for inspiration on what she does. And then what I've done is I've split the deck up for me. What am I doing? I'm just looking to see where I've backed them together. So I have split the deck. Did I? Oh, that was a good split. That was an exact split. So I have split the deck into death. So I think this is circumstance or methods. Is this one happenstance, circumstance? I've just kind of put them into these strange categories that I haven't really fully worked out, shall we say. Because then you can use it for other things. So what have I done? I think I've got people. Is it this one? So I've got things like baby, affair, accomplice, witness, unloved, unwanted, 2 or more people, targeted victim, stranger, stalker, son, serial killer, runaway, robbery, burglary, rival, parent, man, woman, judge, law system. So yeah, kind of people aspects here. So if I wanted to know whom I'm talking about, perhaps I could pull a card from this section, the people. I think this one's what we call places. So I've got like beach, bank records, backyard, wooded area, water, trapped, swamp, country, mountains, landfill, dumpster, hit and run, collapse or ruin, burial or grave, boat. So kind of places. Or the where are they, where are you, where did it happen, sort of thing. So the people, the where happens, places. I think this is more my mode. So I've got death, domestic violence, drugs or overdose, gunfire, health issues, natural causes, stabbings. So yes, this is for trauma, active case. So this is for the passing, because that's what she actually developed this for, was so that she could look into like kind of unsolved crimes, mysteries. So that's that pile. So that's a more direct mode, isn't it? Direct answer. Then this one is circumstance around how it's happened, how it's come to be. So I've got here contamination, dating, meeting, lured, choke, crime, passion, medical attention, DNA evidence, deviance, hired, unfortunate circumstances. So some of these cards aren't nice in what's going on, but that's because it's for true crime, secrets revealed. So yes, this is sort of linked to what happened. This is the ultimate kind of outcome linked to what happened. Here I've got distraction, diversion, false accusation, heavy speculation, justice, karma, karmic connection, mental health, nothing to lose, terminated, truth revealed, spying, lies, liar, fear, drama filled. Can't remember what I think this was one that she did, but what I was going to do while I'm just rambling randomly here is I was going to, with the deck split up like this, I was going to pop in inserts with headings. So I had like my headings for what they are. So I will go back and watch her video again on how she split her deck up to get an idea of what I was going with for the headings. So I've got hair tickling my face terribly today. I used clarifying shampoo and conditioner for people that know what they are. It's left my hair ridiculously soft, fly away and in my face. So here we've got some more debt, circumstance, timeline, propaganda, paperwork, missing, social media, photos, cell phone, flight risk, greed, impulse, isolated, intoxicated. So slightly different to this one. These ones may be more specifically about something, whereas these ones I could probably use for other readings, and these ones would specifically be related to obviously an outcome of a death over here. So that's what I've done with the deck so far. I've split it up, haven't worked with it yet. I'm still working out whether these, so every so often I will pull them back out and just flip through and see, is this the right pile? Do I feel keywords work in here, or do I want to swap a keyword from another pile? And until I'm happy with my piles, once I'm happy and I've got my headings, I will edge the piles into set colours. So I can see where they correspond if I ever get them mixed up, or if I want to mix them into other decks and then want to bring them back to this one, then that is my plan. But yeah, that's what I'm doing with this deck at the moment. So I never planned to work with this immediately anyway. I'm just aware that it's there, and some of you have seen it in my collection and might be wondering, what on earth is happening with that big deck that you got. As I said, this is why I end up with decks like What's the Tea and a couple of the other ones from Amazon. Sort of inspired me down that route for collage decks, art, public domain art. And I did do the Battle of the Arcana with these ones recently as well, VR2 78 puertas. I think that's probably everything I need to talk about. I don't think I need to pull these ones out to spread for you, but those are the other two decks that I used in my digital journal. I really do need to wrap it up there. So until the next one, I wish you much love and happiness. Take care. Bye bye.